A beautiful evening to you, sports fans, and you are welcome. Welcome to Now Sports Extra, right here on Radio Now 95.3 FM, Lagos. And of course, my name is Niran Adesanya. Packed program we have for you today, as usual. And of course, we're going to be feeding you with all the updates in the world of sports. And then, of course, go straight to discussions. Major part of the discussions for today's show bothers around the success and, of course, the kind of reaction the success of Nigeria's men's basketball team, D Tigers, has elicited across the world, particularly on one who is meant to be a member of the sports media fraternity. And that's talking about a very popular one for that matter, ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. Just in the wake of that victory of the Tigers over United States men's basketball team, was on air on ESPN, and he made some comments really not very palatable, and of course he's been eliciting a whole lot of reactions as well. People have condemned the way he described Nigerian players, some of whom are also of American citizenship. Particularly a particular one about among them is Nigeria's shooting guard. Of course, talking about Gabe Namdi. Of course, he's also known as Gabe Vincent in the NBA. So we'll be playing you excerpts from that program when Stephen A. Smith actually made some comments, so to speak, not necessarily directed at the Nigerian basketball team, but seemingly shading the Nigerian basketball team while saying that the United States didn't have any right at all to lose to a team of Nigerian players, and it kept on describing them in very, very unpalatable ways. So we're going to x-ray that. And at a time when we're still talking about racism in sports, trying to stamp it out, it is not really very nice to see a man of color describe the Nigerian basketball team players in a way that is very, very disrespectful. So we'll be talking about that. Of course, the Euros are not gone finally. They have come and gone. But then, of course, a lot of stuff, talking points. And yesterday, we talked about one of our callers brought up an issue of who was technically superior in that game in the final between England and Italy, and actually brought out a lot of talking points. And we're going to continue on that as well. Gareth Southgate up against Roberto Mancini, who was more technically superior in that final. We're not even going to who is more technically superior as a coach, but in that final, how did you think the game played out, and who do you think was whose technical nuance did you think came to fore to actually lead the game in favor of whichever team? So we'll be talking about that as well. Okay, I've got with me the regular team, and I've been warned about not starting with ladies first, so I'm going to do that today. I'm starting with Susan Omokbeloye, the prolific and sizzling one. Susan, good evening to you, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good, so I actually wanted you to start with Daniel.
Oh, my
because
days.
It begged me after the show.
No, Susan. Susan, you are beginning to sound like Deontay Wilder now, trying to do a whole lot of trash talking. I'm not supporting you on this.
It's very trash talking. You've always done it, and you said you're not going to change. So I don't know what has changed your mind. So you can go back to Daniel.
This is totally
I really do not need it anymore. I really do not need it anymore. Can go back to having Daniel first.
I think this is far away from the truth. It's like about 100 meters away from the truth.
I think it just becomes obvious that
Daniel, now is not your time.
No,
it's my airtime. It's not his airtime.
I don't have to.
I'm not done yet.
How much airtime did you buy?
I'm not done yet.
How much airtime did you buy?
I think it just becomes obvious that Susan is just after my reputation, right? But
what's your reputation?
Don't go there. You said it matter worse.
After my reputation. I mean, come on.
What reputation are you talking about?
Why would you come up with a scenario
I had to give him that. Okay.
Are you Gianni
Why would you come up with a scenario?
No, you know what?
We never had a conversation.
Airtime. Is his airtime?
I want to introduce Daniel first. I'm not done with mine. I just had to give it to you.
Susan, we never had a conversation, and you know that we never had a conversation.
Why are you defending yourself?
I'm defending myself because my reputation is on the line.
What's your reputation?
That things are not going on behind the scenes.
Dude, you're putting yourself under pressure.
I mean, I'm excited to be on the show today. We know that currently playing a friendly with.
Oh my days! Don't bring up Arsenal match right now.
This is not a national show. It's a sports show. It's
Let me
not a
talk. I'm giving updates.
airtime.
I'm giving updates. Right, Arsenal are currently playing a friendly against Albania, right there in Scotland. They're playing against.
Is it the under 21 squad or the main team?
Susan, can you allow him
Is
to
it
finish?
the main team? I need him to answer.
It's the main team of Arsenal. It's a pre-season friendly. Thank you very much.
The
Adam.
players are back.
I can kind of read to you like.
Wait, this is not an Arsenal show.
No,
Please.
it's updates.
No, don't give us. We'll give us when we get to transfers and all the stuff. Please, you guys.
How can we even be listening to this? Arsenal playing the preseason.
Okay, because of what you have done. When we get to the transfer segment, we will focus on Arsenal. Take a look at Arsenal's transfer.
No, why? Is Arsenal the only team playing the preseason?
We know Chelsea are not going to get Haaland at the end of the day.
Okay,
that's why.
Okay, I'm
Doesn't
not
even
here.
matter.
Of course,
Anyways,
you see how quiet she is.
Doesn't even matter.
Let's move on, please. Let's move on. Niran.
Somebody tried to hide her allegiance. No way. We know where you belong.
Where do I belong? I belong to Sunshine and
You belong to the Pride. Finish it. It's just a pride. They call it Pride,
of the MPFL.
MPFL. Do you have any club called that?
Let's not feed
You wear blue. You belong to the Pride. You play in North London. West London.
Sunshine where I play.
Sunshine. They are winning now. You play there.
Now I did like 15 position. I think. But let's move on.
Sunshine.
Did you just say that?
The winner Wales.
Did you just say that?
Sunshine Stars are in relegation battles. Am I wrong?
They are out of the relegation zone now.
Which out of relegation? They are 2 points. They are 2 or 3 points away from relegation.
But the league ends today. They are safe.
Can some people not let me go back to history? That concerns them.
What history are we talking about here?
Anyway, just
as far as I know, my club has never been relegated.
History that concerns them personally.
Yeah, no.
Let's leave it there. Anyway, going straight off now. Let's start off on the home front with the tidbits, which is the update segment of the show, and you guys already have a taste of what to expect when we get to the discussion segment of this show. Anyways, Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games draws closer to us, just a few more days. In fact, just over a week from now. And Team Nigeria contingent continued their preparation to get ready for the greatest sporting showpiece. And one of the key members of the team who hails from Edo State, Enoch Agekuki, has had the floodgates of fortunes, showered on him rather. Started from the Edo State government, where he was being sent forth to the Olympic Games, which is actually very nice. And I hope they did that for other Edo State-based athletes or Edo State-born athletes as well. Deputy Governor of the state, Shaibu Philip, said, of course, gave a whole lot of advice to Enoch Adekoke, who is Nigeria's representative in the 100 meters and events for men, and of course the 200 meters events as well. And of course he told him a lot of things. Go out there, make Edo, Nigeria, Africa proud. But the biggest highlight of the send forth, which was held yesterday, was the grant of $10,000, which was given to him to enhance his training, and of course in the United States ahead of the Olympic Games. Enoch was also blessed by a factional president of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Shehu Ibrahim Guzo. Well, his blessing is conditional. And he says if Enoch goes to the Olympic Games and wins a gold medal, he will give him a sports utility vehicle, which is an SUV, okay? He says he's done it before. He did it with Okagbare in the past, and he redeemed his pledge. So no reason whatsoever for him not to redeem it.
It's not a condition, it's a motivation.
Yeah, but he's not going to get the SUV unless he wins a medal. So there's a
motivation.
It is still a condition attached
for me,
to it.
To be honest, I think it can also be a big distraction, right? It can be a big distraction in the sense that you can be so focused on winning, and you can be so focused on.
Isn't that meant to be good for you?
No, at the end of the day, no. Sometimes
it should spur you on to win.
Sometimes it leads to lack of concentration. Trust me.
Really?
When you're so focused on the end game, on the result, rather than what takes you there, the process. That's what I'm saying. For me, I would advise that at this point, Enoch ignores all of this, focus on his game, focus on taking each fight one step at a time, and then at the end of the day, if he wins it, fine, let them do their thing. And we know the way, like I said, we know the way government officials are. They promise,
but he's backed it up.
It's personal.
It's not a government. This is not a government promise. This is a promise from an individual.
I mean, they promise you heaven and earth, and they never do. But anyways, for me, I just think focus on it. Obviously, it's a great thing. It's a great motivation. But focus on your art. Go through the process step by step. Win the battles, win the fights, and of course, and then at the end of the day, if you do get the gold medal, if you do get a medal at all, then yes, let's talk about gifts.
And what one thing I also want to point out is that let's just say, for example, if you are going for a tournament and the prize money is like $5 million, and you have your goal set, your target set that you're getting the 5 million. It's not supposed to be a distraction. That's supposed to be a motivation. That's why I said it's not conditional. It's like a motivation.
Yeah,
like
it could be both, but I think it's more of a motivation.
It's more of the motivation.
I've seen Nigerian teams in the past going for a game and they get told, Scott, every goal you score, we give you $10,000. And we have seen how much you try. But in some cases, you see a lot of the players trying to score goals for themselves. So I think it depends on how the motivation is presented.
Now,
I mean, if it's presented to the team, everybody does it as a team. Yeah.
Sports.
And if you do well and they say you do well, you get a gold medal from me, I'll give you $10,000. You get bronze, I'll give you 7. And if you get if you get silver, 7. And if you get bronze, I'll give you 5. I think the person will be like, you know what, I got to get one of the shades of the medal. So I think it goes both ways. Yeah. But in any case, we'll see how things go with them. Let's go to other stories right now. And from the local front. And, of course, next up is basketball. We will come back and talk about it proper. But the Tigers, they don't seem to be deterred about what anybody like Stephen A. Smith says about their performance. Apart. They're just moving ahead. And, of course, they're really showing determination to do well at the Tokyo Olympic Games. I mean, how do you reconcile beating world number 1 and world number 4 just in the space of 3 days? That's exactly what the men's senior basketball team, the Tigers, did yesterday in the early hours of today as they continue their preparation for the Olympic Games, which comes up in over a week, like I said, with a dominant 23 points victory over 4th-ranked Argentina in an exhibition game in Las Vegas. It was 94-71 this time around. Both teams were physical in their approach, but it was the Argentines who started off on a good note, leading 19-17 at the end of the first quarter. And that was where the Nigerian team said, okay, no mast, which is no more. Let's take it from there. And, of course, moved on to ensure that they dominated the game. Jalil Okafor, this is how would I put it, rich this squad is. I mean, Jalil Okafor totally missed out on the game against United States, and he comes back to score 15 points and 7 rebounds in this one. Pretty much good stuff we're expecting. And like I said, I don't want us to go into discussions right now. We'll be back again in the discussion segment to thrash all this and, of course, talk about that reaction from Stephen A. Smith. Okay, Nigeria are in Group B alongside Australia, Italy and Germany, and they play their opening game against the Aussies July 25th at the Saitama Super Arena. Okay, that game comes up in 12 days, just 12 days from now. And unlike the game against the U.S., where they scored 60 points from the 3-point line, the Tigers scored more field goals against the Argentines. Meanwhile, things are not really going well for the United States team as they, guess what, lost to Australia. 91-83. Nigeria really causing a whole lot of problems for Team USA there. That was also in Las Vegas in a warm-up for the games yesterday. So there are about 4 teams involved in this competition, and that's US, Nigeria, Argentina, and Australia. So we will be taking on Australia in our final game. If we're able to do it against the highly ranked Australia as well. I think Australia is actually ranked 3rd in the world or something. So if we beat Australia as well, I mean, I just hope this will not be a curse for us, because everybody comes with fire and brimstone against us.
That US basketball team is deceiving everybody. You lose 2 games, and when it comes to the Olympics, you are beating everybody.
That's the thing about it.
Yeah. Don't be deceived.
I think they will do well. I think
they will do well. They still have most of their major players out.
And some of their players are playing the NBA finals, so they will be expecting the likes of Chris Middleton, and I think it's Drew Holiday.
Middleton, funny enough, played.
Against Nigeria?
Did he play?
No, he didn't play against Nigeria.
I thought he was on the roster.
He's still with them. Still with them, Milwaukee Bucks, and of course Drew Holiday as well, and the other guys also still part of the.
But come on, let's not take away anything from.
No, nobody's taking it away. That was why Stephen A. Smith was like really saying it. If we had picked even the team,
and that's why he was off. And that's why he was off with a lot of the things that he was saying. Like he was.
No, he does have a point, but you didn't have to drag Nigeria into it. You can take the United States basketball team to anything you want to take them to, and say, he's shocker. But you can say they shouldn't be losing to Nigeria. Nigeria is ranked outside the top 20. This one, that one. That is your business. But the bottom line is, do not say, start calling Nigerians names and all those things. Anyway, we'll play the excerpts from that show back for our listeners who should definitely give us one or two comments about it. Okay, and of course, moving on to other stories. Rivers Angels coach Edwin Okon believes Hasakas Ladies FC of Ghana will provide a stern test for his side ahead of their 2021 CAF Women's Champions League zonal qualifiers, but is hopeful they will qualify from the group. Reigning Nigeria Women's Football League champions, Rivers Angels were drawn alongside Hasakas Ladies FC of Ghana as AS Police de Niamey, as well as AS Police de Niamey from Niger in Group B last week. The 2021 CAF Women's Champions League zonal qualifiers are built to hold from 17th July to the 30th in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, here's what Okon said. Hasakas Ladies have been more active lately than we've been, but we will be prepared, and from our experience, football is not arithmetic like some of you think. I don't know who he means by some of you, end of the quote there. But this is exactly what Daniel was talking about, Susan,
Yes.
saying that, why would you postpone the ITO Cup game against Bright Future Stars FC, which is just about 5 days to the game? I mean, there's nothing wrong with you playing now, and then, of course,
especially when you don't
in
have the
4
league
days' time,
running.
yeah, you have another game. But now Okon is now saying they are more active because, of course, Hasakas just played the Ghana FA Cup just a few days ago and won the FA Cup, which was like a warning signal to Nigeria that they're not coming there for a tea party.
They are not even coming there for a tea party, because Asakas are one of the biggest teams in Ghana. The Ghanaian League, Women's League, just got started in 2012. And Asakas, of the 9 titles they've won almost half of the years in the Ghana Women's League. So that tells you that they are no joke at all. Yes, Rivers Angels are the biggest team in Nigeria, but they are playing against one of the biggest side also in Ghana. But like you mentioned, they should have played their game. I mean, competitive games are different from warm-up games when you just want to play some friendlies before you go for a tournament. When you play competitive games like the FA Cup, it should give you a lot of morale booster going forward for the game. But he said it's not arithmetic, so let's see him prove that this is not arithmetic. Football is played in 90 minutes, so let's see how it pans out. Although the competition itself have been moved from 17th to 24th, so in order to allow those that have just finished their league and some of the major competitions to also rest, so they won't be traveling this week, they will be traveling next week. Tournament starts 24th of July.
Okay, you've got the details of that one there coming from, she should know as well, it's women's football we're talking about, so she's got her focus absolutely on that one. We have our focus on this as well. And still talking about women's football quickly now before we go on a break. Organizers of the Aisha Buhari Invitational Women's Football Tournament, they are not joking in any form at all, okay? They have confirmed that FIFA President Gianni Infantino, CAF President Patrice Motsepe, FIFA General Secretary Fatma Samora, and all the world football dignitaries will be at the Six Nation Tournament in Lagos from September 14th to the 20th. The football showpiece, which is in honor of Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari, will feature hosts Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, South Africa, and emerging powers Mali and Morocco. According to a message from the main mover of the event, Nigeria Football Federation President and CAF Executive FIFA Council member Amaju Pinnick, the director of the organization Aisha Falode, the presence of football bigwigs will attest to their high regard for the Nigerian First Lady. Okay, and of course we'll go on that break right now. When we come back, we'll go to the foreign scene and then of course break into the discussion segment of the show. We'll be right back after this.
For top-notch analysis, friendly banter, from basketball
to use of Curry, way downtown, bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
to football,
Gomez, Jordi Alba, Lionel Messi! Oh my goodness! Lionel Messi!
to tennis,
Simona Halep is the Wimbledon champion.
to Formula One.
Destiny of the championship as Sebastian Vettel wins the British Grand Prix and leads home Lewis.
Join Niran Adesanya, Daniel Akins, and the rest of the crew on Now Sport Extra every weekday at 6:10 p.m. Let's go.
Hey, don't read better read safe. Now 10 gigabyte data just land my Airtel so. Guess how much? 3,000 naira. 3K better for 10 gigabyte data. You shock, Abi? Make I add extra shock. 5,000 naira go give you 20 gigabyte data. Na so me say for shoko.
That's right. With Airtel data, just a little more gets you so much more. Introducing Airtel More for More data plans, like 10 gigabytes for just 3,000 naira and 20 gigabytes for 5,000 naira. Dial *141# today to experience the network with the widest 4G coverage.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Stay connected to Radio Now on the air on 95.3 FM Lagos and online on www.thisisradionow.com.
Another gift? Ha, this your guy, Sha.
That's so I see am o.
Just like that?
Yup.
And you not ask?
Nope, my sister.
Gifts mean more when unexpected. That's why Airtel is giving you up to 100 million naira weekly in the Airtel Thanks Cash Token promo. To stand a chance to win, dial *479# now. Terms and conditions apply.
My friend, does your boyfriend not have friends like him?
Airtel, the smartphone network.
This is Now Sports on Radio Now 95.3 FM. Sports stories from all around the world.
Ball 3-0. Corner taken quickly. Origi.
Fully packed with energy.
LeBron James with no regard for human life. Still alive here.
This is Now Sports on Radio Now 95.3 FM.
You're welcome back. Now Sports Extra right here on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. And of course, we must let you know that we're just running through the updates. And of course, that'll be very, very breezy as we do that in a short while. Let's go straight to Euros right now, where England and Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford has apologized for his penalty should have missed, but said he will never apologize for who he is, okay? And he goes ahead to say this after he was one of 3 players subjected to racist abuse following his England Euro 2020 final defeat to Italy. Rashford, along with Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka, missed their sport kicks. All 3 were targeted on social media after the game, and he says, and I quote, "If I felt as if I'd let everyone down, I felt no prouder moment than hearing those 3 lions, wearing those 3 lions on my chest and seeing my family cheer me on in a crowd of tens of thousands." Okay, but he's quick to say, "I can take critique of my performance all day long. My penalty was not good enough. It should have gone in, but I will never apologize for who I am and where I came from." And that's Rashford putting out a very strong statement there for those who have been racially abusing him and 2 other teammates of the 3 Lions. And, of course, still talking about that situation, England footballer Tyrone Mings has accused, he's gone really, really public and strong on this one, as he has accused the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom pretending to be disgusted, saying that the Home Secretary pretending to be disgusted by racist abuse isn't acceptable, after she previously described taking a knee as gesture politics, okay? And I wasn't really happy about that as well. For a country that loves integrity so much, honestly, I really do not know the reason why the Home Secretary is still in office, okay? Marcus Rashford, we talked about, we know everything that's led to this already. Priti, that's the name of the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, said she was disgusted by the online abuse directed at the trio. Mings said she had stoked the fire by refusing to criticize fans who booed the England team for taking a knee. Ms. Patel declined to comment on his tweets. The England player and member of the Euro squad was angered by perceived lack of action by the government when some fans booed the players taking the knee before the tournament. And the funny thing about it, let me just enlighten some of the listeners out there who are not aware, who may not be aware of it. What it is that Patel has been a bit outspoken, and if you're the Home Secretary, pretty much like you're the Secretary of Interior or Internal Affairs, the Secretary of whatever happens in that country. And Priti Patel occupies a very strong position, which should be the ministry that is really out there to tackle issues of diversity and minority issues like that. Okay, so pretty much she was asked what her thoughts are about the situation where England fans booed England team for taking a knee before the Euro 2020s, and she says, to be honest, it's not her business, that it is the views of the fans, if they decide to react to a certain action by the English national team players, then it's their own opinion and it's their view, and that she thinks that taking a knee is gesture politics, that the England national team is playing politics with sports, and she thinks it's just all politics. So the English government has really not taken action about it. The opposition, maybe I'm not too sure if they have been really very firm about it, but I would have expected that calls should have been made for her to step down as the Home Secretary after making such statement. When your team goes out and decides through the FA, which is also some sort of government, saying that this is going to be our stand at the competition because of racism, our national team will always take a knee before the tournaments, before the games, and you, the Home Secretary, comes out to say those guys being booed by your own people is none of your business. I think that is really disappointing if it comes from a very strong government official like that. Okay, we will come to it in the discussion segment, like I said. And now UEFA has also said that opening disciplinary proceedings into security breaches. England is in real trouble for eventually hosting the semi-finals and final of the Euro 2020. We all saw what happened. There were a lot of fans, being unruly, beating up security officials, attacking Italian fans as well at the end of it. Even before the final, there was a lot of mayhem and chaos all over the major metropolis in London there. Okay, fans fought with several stewards, police, as they attempted to break through gates for Sunday's showcase event. Football FA Chief Executive Mark Bullingham has apologized to legitimate fans and said security team had never seen anything like it. England lost to Italy in the final following a penalty shootout after the match ended 1-1 in extra time. The FA has been hit with 4 charges surrounding the behavior of fans. They relate to disturbances caused during the national anthems, invasion of the pitch, throwing of objects, and lighting of a firework by fans. The UEFA statement also adds, and I quote, separately, a UEFA ethics and disciplinary inspector has been appointed to conduct a disciplinary investigation into events involving supporters which occurred inside and around the stadium. Okay, guys, before we go to other issues, let's just 30 seconds each on this one because it's not part of our discussion. Starting from you, Susan, your thoughts on the general issue. Let's leave racism on the side now. Okay. Let's talk about how this was handled by the English FA, who are definitely tasked with organizing the final alongside UEFA.
This is going to be a major blow on their hopes of hosting the 2030 World Cup, which is what they've been hoping that eventually they will get to host. And this is set. So it's going to be like a test tournament for them hosting the Euros. And with all of this, I don't know what is going to happen. FIFA is going to now review it and say, if you can't control your fans, if you can't control how the situation of or guarantee security of teams and of fans coming to watch games in your city, then there's no need or there's no hope of getting you to host the 2030 World Cup. So I think it's a lot on the English FA, and they should do something about it. But definitely FIFA is going to find them. That's just sure. It's certain.
Okay, and
they have been fined. I know that they have been fined.
No, the fine they had was actually the one before.
I think that was
for the semi-final.
That was for the laser that was pointed.
Yeah, that was for the Denmark game.
They will definitely be fined.
But we're looking beyond fines now because England fans are used to doing this. I mean, I'm not going to hold back any words about this.
The thing is, I don't think it's a country-specific thing. I think
and that's what I'm saying. But some England fans are used to doing this. We see them. They went to the 2018 World Cup in Russia, and they caused quite a lot of chaos there as well.
Yeah, we've seen Germany host the World Cup. We've seen countries host tournaments, and it's
their
not
fans
as
behave.
bad. It's not as bad as this.
Yeah.
Whatever they have coming for them, they will get it, and I think that it will be fair at the end of the day, and that is whatever they do get coming from
UEFA.
Either UEFA,
it has to be UEFA. It's their competition. Anyways, let's move on now quickly. This is big, and they always say when you go to a major competition, put in your best. Rodrigo Paul did his best, and he's beginning to reap the dividends of it. As La Liga champions, Atletico Madrid have signed the Argentine midfielder who was in fantastic form for Argentina. He used to play for Udinese, but he's now going to be an Atleti player for 5 years. Of course, he's 27 years old, and he was part of the Argentine Copa America winning squad. So that is brilliant. Okay, it's a big one. I'm talking about transfers as well. England winger Jadon Sancho, we're told now, has had a medical because he couldn't do it when England was playing at the Euros. At his 73 million pounds move to Manchester United from Borussia Dortmund, that this is edging closer and closer, even though United confirmed that they have signed him, but you can't complete your signing until medicals and every other thing is done. United agreed actually the fee for the 21-year-old on 1st of July, but the deal could not be concluded because of Euros. And also transfer, Chelsea striker Olivier Giroud is close to signing for AC Milan. 34-year-old French international is expected to sign a 2-year deal with the Serie A side and could complete the move by the end of the week. It is a brilliant one, if you ask me. And this is a 34-year-old going to another big club, if not even a bigger club than Chelsea, if you look at the antecedents of AC Milan in world football. And in the Olympics, 20-time Olympic Grand Slam champion, rather, this is big for me and a lot of his fans. Roger Federer has pulled out of the Tokyo Olympics because of a knee injury. 39-year-old Federer lost in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon this year, but anticipates rejoining the tour for the hard-court swing later in the year. This is Roger Federer looking to get one more Grand Slam, especially after Djokovic has gotten his own. But
his body's telling him, man,
he can't.
You need to pack up now. But it looks like he still wants more, but body's giving him signal. Okay, and of course, talking about the Olympics as well, American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson will run 100 and 200 meters in the Diamond League Prefontaine Classic after completing a 1-month ban. Richardson, 21, was a favorite for the 100 meters at the Tokyo Olympics, but tested positive for cannabis last month at the U.S. track and field trials, which has now prevented her from running the 100 meters at the Games. And of course, this is really, really bad for her. But of course, bright spark as she will be back in August after the Olympics to run at the Diamond League. Okay, let's quickly head on into the discussion segment, and the lines are now open. Numbers to call 0901 111 1953. That's 0901 111 1953. Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Now Sports Extra. Hello, good evening. Hello, you are on to us. Okay. Okay, we lost that call there. Anyways, you can reach us on 0901 111 1953 and 0809 222 2953. Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Now Sports Extra. Okay, we're having issues with the network there. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more on the interviews and the discussion segment. But let's see whether we can take this call right now. Hello there. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening, Susan. Good evening, Daniel, and good evening, Niran.
Good evening.
Go ahead, Peter.
Yes. First and foremost, I don't tell Roger Federer, please stop, back off. You are due. Tell him it's okay. Basically, what do you call it? The Tigers.
Tiger Woods.
You know, the Nigerian.
Okay, D Tigers.
You know, I'm not an ardent, how do I say, basketballer. But let me put it this way: good one for beating U.S. and Argentina. And I learned that they're playing today against the third ranked best in the world, which is Australia.
Yep.
I don't know whether that game is on or not.
The game. Okay, sorry about that, Peter. The game is not on now because they're playing in the United States. It's usually played in the evening, so it's coming up much later in the day, probably around early hours of tomorrow. So because of the time difference, so that's exactly the situation. But you can trust us; we'll be bringing you the updates of it at 6:25 a.m. tomorrow morning. Hello there. Good morning. Can I say good morning? Good evening. Welcome to Now Sports Extra.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, go ahead, my brother. What's the name?
This is Philip from Africa.
Philip, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay.
That argument to in the studio there.
He do. Daniel,
he's watching us now pre-season.
Daniel, I find it very funny that you'll be arguing the best between Mancini and...
okay, we might as well go into it because we're continuing that discussion, Philip.
Exactly. I don't know. There is no... It's not about speaking of the grammar and the rest of that. There is no how you want to compare Southgate and Mancini. Okay. It's not possible.
Okay.
It's not possible. For me, I think Southgate has an right planting. Mancini is a right planting. Tested and trusted.
Okay.
You get my point.
I'm not arguing the word of experience. The word of experience between the two players.
Hold on. You know, you said something yesterday that I find very, very funny. You said England dominated the game for 20 minutes. I was like, games were in 20 minutes. Games are played for 90 minutes. You might play so well for 80 minutes, and at the end of the day, the other team just 10% of possession will win you. Look at Chelsea and Barcelona over the years in Champions League. So there's no how you want to bring that kind of argument and tell anybody, any sane football loving fan that England dominated the game for 20 minutes. Where did they play? If they dominated the game, how come they had only one shot on target throughout the whole 1 and 20 minutes?
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay, points made, Philip. Let's also talk about the issues surrounding.
You should keep listening right after you drop the call so that I can reply you. No, so you understand, so you get the context.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of the day, I think what happened is that Philip sort of got me out of context. Right?
I think the way you jumped on him as well didn't help your matters as well.
I think he did not allow.
You should have allowed him to finish.
We had this conversation.
Allow Daniel land. Daniel land safely now.
You know what?
No, I think Daniel didn't wait for Philip to finish. He jumped that.
Because to be honest, right? Maybe yesterday I was a little bit heated because
not heated. You are emotional. You feel Philip was disrespecting Southgate, and that was not what he was doing.
I felt like it was that.
No, Philip just felt on the basis of the two coaches.
Philip, if this guy's technical depth showed that he was more experienced. Just to give you context into what I was trying to say yesterday, right?
Quickly, we have a caller on the line.
Like it was a little bit unfair on the part of Sago. Obviously, you cannot compare the word of experience between the two players. I mean, we are talking about Mancini, who has won the Premier League two times. With
and has coached at the World Cup before.
The Manchester City team that was next to nothing before his time. So yes, that there's a word of experience there for Mancini. And before the England game, Gareth Southgate was relatively unknown. So obviously,
we knew about him at the World Cup. He took England to the semi-finals, lost at the
managerially. In terms of coaching, Gareth Southgate
he really came from nowhere.
He came from nowhere. So obviously you cannot continue. You cannot start to compare these two coaches. In terms of the experience. I just said that in terms of what Gareth Southgate has done with this England team. Come on, let's look at it from Nations League.
But the problem is that's where I said you're still going on and on, and we need to take calls now, Daniel.
Because you're not getting the context.
You are taking a long time to make your point.
Me saying it was disrespectful was the fact that was just off the back of the fact that the work he has done with that England team.
But that was not what Philip
meant. The kind of teams he has played, how getting there.
Philip just meant
final.
That final,
of course,
for him. Tactically,
of course,
Mancini was better.
Of course, generally, considering the fact that Italy did win the game, Italy did have
the upper hand. This is the grammar Philip is talking about.
They did have the upper hand.
Let's take another call.
That's what it is. They had the upper hand.
It's not upper hand. It was better. Anyways, hello there. Good evening. Now, Sports Extra.
Hello, good evening. This is Tokes.
Hey, Tokes. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm good.
Okay, so you've been listening to the discussion, right?
I've been listening. Even yesterday, I was trying to call in.
Yeah. Okay. You have your.
You can blame me.
You guys need to give me some accolades because I predicted, from semi-final, England and Italy.
Yeah.
They're going to be at the
final. Yeah. You know what?
Italy are going to win it.
Yeah. So and that because of that, Tokes, you will get your recharge card. I do hope you could call us back, maybe at the end of the show, and we'll pick up your call. Okay.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, because I'm happy about this. I don't think you've actually won anything from us since.
No, I haven't won anything.
Yeah, and I always enjoy your analysis. Okay, so your thoughts on this one now?
Well, from the past 4 weeks has showed us what we need to know about England national team and their supporters.
Okay.
First of all, I'll go to Gareth Southgate. He's a very pragmatic manager, a sensible one, and a decent manager. But, in going far, you could see him and Mancini, the difference is there.
Yeah.
He's not, as a coach, he's not that, for me, he's not that ruthless enough to make changes at the right time when it needs to be done. He's very, very conservative. He's just like a Mourinho kind of a manager, for me, in my own opinion.
Okay.
Because when I was watching the fight, I figured that Italy are going to win, but my mind, I wanted England to win it because of what they've been going through lately.
Yeah.
But watching that fight, they were leading 1-0 from the start, and they still kicked back, inviting pressure throughout the whole game. Italy were going and going and going and going. And second half, I was even expecting him to make more changes. He didn't even make any changes. On to extra time, you bring in on Rashford and Sancho. There's not even kicked the ball at all throughout this tournament. To come and play penalties.
He actually played one game. He came up as a sub in one of the games.
Yeah, but Sancho hardly kicked the ball in this.
No, Sancho actually played one game. He played one game in the.
He played, but
it was a sub.
He's saying that he didn't play as much. He's saying he hardly kicked the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't play as much.
Even in the final.
Even prior to the final, the tournament itself.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is Anderson doing not playing penalty? What is Jack Grealish doing not playing penalty?
I don't understand. What is Raheem Sterling doing not playing the penalty?
Not playing. What is Luke Shaw doing? And you're now putting Rashford. And anybody could miss a penalty. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's a game of luck. But it comes with your mindset.
Yeah.
You could see the way Maguire and Again took the penalty.
Absolutely.
They were all for it in their mind. But when Saka is going to take his penalty, Rashford will see that in their eyes.
Yeah, you see his face and he didn't look convinced at all.
Exactly that, this penalty is not just meant for them that day. So, and Mancini, you could see Nobile was not playing fine in the first half. Second half, they took him out.
Yeah.
Even Chiesa, that was even trouble.
Even Insigne, one of their best players, was also pulled out.
So, Southgate for me, I don't think he's taking England to the next level. We could do fine at the World Cup.
But you don't see him winning the World Cup for them?
Yes, no.
Okay, thank you very much, Tokes.
It's just like a Liga Social and Manchester United. They have got
That's your club, bro. Okay.
Yes, he has given his best.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Yeah. Okay, now, let's play this before we allow Euros to take over again. And then quickly we'll play this and then, of course, let you guys know.
But the FA boss has said they are keeping Southgate on the job.
Yeah, and I want them to keep him on the job. He even says he wants to stay. So we don't have so much time. Let's quickly play that Stephen A. Smith ranting on ESPN, and then we could take one or two more comments on that.
But when you talk about bona fide stars in the National Basketball Association, we can pick at least 15 to 20 of them. Half of them are on this damn roster. There's no excuse to lose to Nigeria. Some dude, Gabe Namdi, who goes by Gabe Vincent for the Miami Heat, Caleb Agata, Namu, or however the hell you pronounce his name. You give up 60 points on threes? Excuse me. You can do better than that. And oh, by the way, let's also look at Greg Popovich, because he's a 5-time champion. One of the elite coaches this game has ever seen.
Okay, basically, so you can get an insight into what we're talking about.
Pain in his
voice. I mean, I don't have a problem. He's really pained that US lost to Nigeria. I'm sure he will not be pained that they lost to Argentina because Argentina is ranked 4th in the world. But I don't like the way he says Gabe Namdi, Caleb Agata, and Wamu or something like that. I don't know his name.
Sense of entitlement this US
Absolutely.
team have got. Well, you can't blame them because they're ranked first, so you can't blame
it
them.
It still doesn't matter. You being number one. Novak Djokovic is number one in tennis, and he doesn't go about, or his fans don't go about, talking trash about other people when other people who are lowly rated when they beat him. So, anyways, we have another caller. Hello there. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Hey. Good evening. How are you doing, Blackwell?
Good evening, Uncle Nero.
Good evening.
Hey, Blackwell. How are you?
How about Uncle Daniel in the studio?
Yeah, I'm here.
And your favorite Susan is in the studio as well. But Blackwell, you got 30 seconds. Let me start talking like Stephen A. Smith. You got 30 seconds on this right now.
I got nothing to say. Just say hi to you guys.
Thank you very much, Blackwell. Thank you very much, Blackwell.
Okay.
That's what to do.
Thank you very much.
Give us the argument. Give us the argument.
He said, "Give us argument." Did you listen to the show yesterday? You missed if you did not.
Yes, sir.
We've been giving you arguments since now. You didn't tune in early enough.
Philip,
this is Blackwell.
I know. I wanted to say something.
Okay, thank you very much, Blackwell. Okay, so
I have something to say to Philip. So Philip, if you
still want to say something,
I want him to message. I wanted to message us either on Facebook or on Instagram at Radio Now 953 FM. Message, send your number in.
No, that's actually talks.
No, I'm talking about Philip.
Okay.
I'm actually talking about Philip, so we can have a conversation.
You have conversation.
No, it's not an argument. It's not.
No, it's not on the air.
That conversation.
Okay, so
a conversation.
Your personal request to Philip. Say it before we wrap up.
So you can message us at Radio Now 95.3 FM. It's either on Facebook or on Instagram. And just say this is Philip, and you can just send in your number as well. So
and that also goes for Tokes as well. Tokes, please message us at Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos on Facebook. Let us know. Just say this is Tokes, and that's your number as well. I'm just feeling lucky today, even though I might be overstepping our time. Okay. I'm told I can't take this call. So
just a parting short. Just about the Arsenal game.
Don't give us
updates. It's called updates. Pre-season updates. Let's have it.
Currently training to Ubanian by 1-0. Well, it's courtesy a mistake by the new Arsenal senior goalkeeper. Talking about Okonkwo, who just signed a new senior deal. He's now an official part of the first team, but he made a very silly mistake, and of course, Ubanian were able to.
Player alert! Get not raw. Get not raw. Player alert.
I like the way you're listening.
They're not wrong. Can't go there for Arsenal. He's a goalkeeper. He's young. Anyway, from all of us here, we want to say big thank you to you guys. You're always there, making this show a very exciting one for us. And of course, the guys doing the job on the social media, talking about my man Anwar Dan Jaji and Samuel Manuel as well. Those guys trying to ensure that we get on the social media, and we will definitely be big on that. Okay, big ups to Susan Omopelo, the prolific and sizzling one, and of course Double D himself, Dan Akins. My name is Niran Adesanya, signing off and handing you back to the regular guys. We're talking about the drive time show anchored by the lovely, delectable, sultry voiced Zibby.
You're listening to Radio Now.
The news
beyond the news.
I like hearing the news.
News beyond the news.
Yes, radio. This
is 95.3 FM. Radio Now.
You're listening to Radio Now 95.3 FM.
Hi, this is Rita Dominic, and you're listening to Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos.
As you may know, the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is a dangerously contagious disease that has been a global pandemic. Health experts have asserted that it causes respiratory illness with flu-like symptoms. Recently, there have been new variants emerging in different countries with similar symptoms and more aggressive spread. We can, as a collective, prevent the spread of COVID-19 by taking responsibility. Wash your hands with soap and water for